All right, let's get right into it. We've all heard of HTML, right? It's the skeleton of pretty much every single website we use. But have you ever stopped to think about what it's, actually saying? Well, today we are going to crack that code. We're going to learn the secret language it uses to build the entire web. So, that's the big question, isn't it? We know HTML gives a web page its structure, but how does it communicate? How does it tell a browser, hey, this chunk of text is a headline, or over here, I want you to put an image? That's the mystery we are solving today. And hey, we've even got this little guide to help us out. Together, we're going to pull back the curtain on this whole thing by focusing on the 3 most important keys to understanding HTML. And trust me, it's way easier than you think. First things first, we have to start at the very, very beginning. We're talking about the smallest, most fundamental piece of the whole puzzle, the tag. It all boils down to something super simple. You see those pointy angle brackets? Those little things are called tags. And really, their only job is to be a label. They just wrap around a piece of content to tell the browser exactly what that content is supposed to be. So to put it simply, a tag is just an instruction. It's a command wrapped in those angle brackets telling the browser what to do. Think P for a paragraph or H1 for a big headline. It's the most basic command you can possibly give. And here's the other crucial part. Tags are kind of like bookends. They almost always come in a pair. You have an opening tag that says, hey browser, my instruction starts right here. And then you have a closing tag. And you can always spot the closing tag because of that little /. It just says, okay, instruction's over. Okay, so we've got tags. Now what? Let's see what happens when we actually put them to work and build something a little bigger. It's really just a simple 3-step recipe. Seriously, you start with your opening tag, then you drop in your actual content, the words or the picture you want people to see, and then you just finish it off with that closing tag. That's the whole formula. And when you put all 3 of those pieces together, the opening tag, the content, and the closing tag, you get what's called an element. And this is the key. The whole element, not just the tag, is the real functional building block of every single website you've ever visited. All right, you're getting this, tags and elements, you got it. But what if you need to give the browser, more specific instructions? It's time to level up with something called an attribute. Right? Think about it. Sometimes just saying this is an image isn't enough. The browser is going to say, okay, which image? That's where this extra information becomes absolutely essential. It provides the critical details an element needs to actually work. And that extra bit of info, it has a name. It's called an attribute. The best way to think of it is like a little modifier. It doesn't change what the element is, it's still an image, but it gives the browser more specific details about it. So here, the src attribute is telling the image tag the exact source file for the picture. So if we're going to get official about it, an attribute provides additional information about an element. And here's the important part. It always goes inside the opening tag. It doesn't get its own tag or anything. It just kind of hitches a ride inside the first one. Now, I know what you're thinking. Tag, element, attribute. It can all start to sound like a jumble of words. But don't worry, I have the perfect analogy coming up that is going to make this click and stay in your brain forever. Okay, check this out. It's so simple. Think of the entire element as a person, like you. The attributes, that's just all the stuff on your ID card. Your name, your date of birth, your eye color. That stuff doesn't change the fact that you're a person, right? It just provides essential specific information about you. And that's exactly what attributes do for elements. All right, let's bring it all home. We've just walked through the 3 essential keys you need to understand HTML's secret language. Let's do a super quick final review to lock it in. These are the big 3, the core concepts you absolutely need to know: the tag, the complete element, and the attribute that adds the details. Literally everything in HTML is built from just these 3 ideas. And if you remember anything, remember this. Tags are the labels. They define what something is. Elements are the complete packages. They're what actually hold the content. And attributes, they're just the little notes that add those extra crucial details. And honestly, that's the whole secret. Once you really get the role that each of these 3 keys plays, the entire structure of the web just clicks. It all makes sense. So what part of a website are you going to go try to decode first?